Welcome in, everybody. I am the Crypto Bull God, and in today's video, we got another live stream. I have time's been a little tight. Time's been a little tight, so I haven't had I just haven't had as much time to put into creating into creating additional thumbnails and getting all creative for the videos. And so, in kind of thinking about what works best for me, and what would be, I think, most value added for those that follow and subscribe to my content, I think just going live and talking about some of the charts right now, even though that might not get me the most views on my channel, some of the niche TA videos I put out get more views. I genuinely think this will be more helpful based on some of the price action we see going on. So, I mean, no better sign that I'm doing it out of authenticity than that, right? So if you appreciate the content, make sure to hit the thumbs up button. Drop me a comment here. This one's going to be as engaging as you make it. I'm going to take questions on charts. We're going to focus on altcoin charts. We'll do an update on Bitcoin, kind of see what's going on here. We're going to really hit home on some of these altcoin charts and see what prices are developing within a lot of these altcoins. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click the bell icon to receive notifications. You can find me on Twitter. You can find me on YouTube, Instagram, TradingView, which I've been a little dormant on. One word, Crypto Bull God. Today, for today's live stream, is the reason I'm a little late. I have a fresh mango martini, or mango, excuse me, margarita with some Tajini around the glass. Look up Tajini, what it is, if you don't know. But a mango margarita. If you said, hey, CBG, if you could imagine yourself doing anything in the future, like how would you choose to spend your time? How would you choose to spend most of your time in terms of what you did to bring in a source of income? I think I'd be charting and drinking. I'd pull up a beer, pull up a drink, and chart some things with you guys because I mean I love doing this so much. So, with that being said, like I said, we're going to take a look at Bitcoin first. Okay, a couple other kind of high level charts I wanted to get into here, but on a separate window here, you'll see I have a few specific altcoins pulled up here. We're going to talk about some of the price developments occurring within those charts, and I'll give you my honest assessment of where things are at. What's up, Steady? Moon River, brother. I'm going to give you my honest view on the markets, right? So, I just went live 2 days ago. Today is Thursday, right? So I went live on Tuesday. And what did I share with you guys? Is it on any of these charts that I can quickly point to? It's not. But what I had, no, it's on here. What I had spoken to, I think it's better on the daily. Yeah, what I had spoken to was bearish divergence on the Bitcoin chart, right? We just spoke about this. And I said that just like when we had bullish divergence on multiple time frames on the Bitcoin chart, the highest likelihood was price action to the upside. Here, the highest probability was price action to the downside, right? No guarantees, but we could use the bearish divergence as a leading indicator to tell us, hey, red flag, more than likely you're going to see some sort of drop in price, right? May not happen today, may not happen tomorrow, but, it may happen, right? So, YC, what's up, brother? Good to see you in here. But look at what we're seeing today. This is the perfect day to live stream. There's nothing, if you're following my content and you're following other value-added technicians in the space, there's nothing going on here that's unexpected, right? And again, if you've been paying close attention to the things that I've said to focus on, there's nothing about the price action today that should alarm you. And you should be well armed to know key price levels that we want to see price gravitate towards, right? This is the Bitcoin 12-hour chart. What did I just reiterate to you guys 2 days ago? I said, hey, it's very common when you get this golden cross, and it's key that the 200 is sloping up, okay? We got the golden cross, but the 200 is sloping up, which is the pink line. At different points, okay, first off, let me take a step back. When this happens, if you go back in history, this has been a predecessor towards telling us, hey everybody, bull run, massive appreciation in price is underway here. And this bullish momentum eventually tends to bleed over into the higher time frame charts. And what I've also said is that at various times throughout the cycle, as we're continuing to churn up in price, we come down to around the 200 SMA. It's not essential. It's not essential that we stay above the 200 SMA, okay? It expresses a greater degree of strength if we get price wicks that go below it, but candle bodies that stay above it. But ultimately, even if we get candle body closes below the 200 SMA on the 12-hour, you want to see price action ride the 200 moving average. We don't want to dip here and start doing the lower lows and lower highs. That's not what we want to see. And we don't want to see price action, the candle bodies and the candlesticks. We don't want to see those diverge too much to the downside away from the 200 simple moving average. Use this 12-hour chart as a blueprint for what's going on in the market. Use it as sort of a hidden gem, really, because no one else talks about the significance of the 12-hour on Bitcoin, which I'm just surprised by at this point. But really what you want to see is, now that we've come down here, which should not be surprising if you've been listening, what we want to do is ride this line. Again, we could come all the way down to this $19,000 area. It does not scare me one bit. Does not scare me one bit. But eventually what we want to see is we want to see prices obviously resume up and build a higher high and break that $25,000, $26,000 area, right? The other thing to look for on the 12-hour chart, we don't want to see a death cross, right? Meaning, even though I'm telling you that prices can come down into this $19,000 area and ride the 200 SMA, we don't want to do it for an overextended period of time such that the 50 starts to decline and now we have a death cross. We don't want to see that. We don't want to see that on the 12-hour. That would be no bueno. No bueno. All right? But there's nothing here that's shocking or surprising. The other thing I tweeted out, I want you to take a look at a couple things I had tweeted before I went live here. Let's see. How scared do I feel? 0. I'm actually extremely thankful given annual bonuses are being paid out very soon. Thank you, crypto gods. The whole point of this tweet is to reiterate, again, anything I'm tweeting out is honestly how I feel. I've been here for too long. I've been here for too long and seen too many volatile swings in price up and down that it just doesn't shake me. It doesn't bother me. And again, as a chartist and having this fundamental view that, hey, I'm still waiting for a fifth wave, and we'll get to this chart in a moment, I'm still expecting a massive price appreciation. Do you guys really think when we were down here in 2019 at 3,000, people thought we would ride all the way up to 14,000? Do you really think when we had our V-shaped recovery with the beer virus and we were floating around 9,000, 10,000, people really thought we were going to go up towards close to $70,000? No one was thinking that at that point, right? No one right now, very few, I should say, very few right now are giving any chance whatsoever to there being not only new all-time highs, but exceeding $100,000 this year. Okay, no one is talking about that right now. Emotion clouds intellect. Okay, emotion clouds intellect. Even in personal discussions that you have with those you are closest with. Okay, think of your spouse, think of friends, think of difficult conversations when things get heated, or you're very excited. Oftentimes your emotion clouds your intellect, right? It's like a balancing act there. So when your emotions are high, your intellect tends to be very low, okay? The beautiful thing about being in this market for as long as I've been in it, okay, is it hardens you. You are more prepared for these volatile swings, and they're not unexpected. I am fortunate to be getting a bonus very shortly. And I am very thankful that we're seeing the drop that we're seeing right now, because there are several altcoins I'm going to speak to shortly that are setting up for great buy opportunities if you're not getting emotional and scared and you have the chart foundational knowledge to back up why it's smart to buy. So with that being said, let's continue forward here. Once I get through these Bitcoin charts, I'm going to get to some comments here I see. I appreciate it, by the way. Make sure to drop a comment on any altcoin you would like me to chart, and I will make sure to get to it. And if I don't get to it today, for whatever reason, if there's too many, I will get back to it on Twitter and chart it out. All right, I appreciate the engagement. This is Bitcoin on the daily. Now, as you can see here, we also had our golden cross, right? Bullish momentum from the 12-hour chart, the lower time frame. It bled over into the daily. We got our golden cross. I'm curious real quick how close we are to a golden cross on the 2-day. We're still ways away. Okay. If this continued, if we continued bullish momentum, we might get a golden cross in like late April. Okay. Just kind of ranging that out there. So what's going on the daily? I would say very similar comments as on the 12-hour. Prices can come all the way down to this level and ride here. I don't really give two shits less. What do we have? A low, a high or low. Okay. We have a high, and now what we'd want to do is come up here and start forming another higher high, right? The other thing to look for on the daily, okay, you can see that now we've broken out of this bearish divergence, clearly breaking down. The other thing you want to watch for, we don't want to see a death cross, right? So similar comments as the 12-hour, we don't want to linger in this $19,000 area for long, which I suspect we're going to get to eventually. We will definitely, I don't want to say definitely, don't want to use that word. I feel confident. I feel confident that just looking at this chart, it looks pretty obvious to me if I had to take an educated guess. I mean, we could see prices wick all the way down to 18,800. I mean, really, 18,800 isn't out of the question. I don't see us spending a lot of time in the $18,000 area, or even maybe as low as 18,500. But I think it's just a matter of time at this point, now that we've broken market structure, okay, and we've gotten below the 50 simple moving average here on the daily. We're going to be in the $19,000 area. There's just too much price confluence with these moving averages that expect $19,000 in the coming days here, okay? And again, depending what your view is, if you're bullish like me, it just presents itself as a great buying opportunity. This view here, I want to explain this very quickly because I had tweeted this out, okay? Now, if you've been here for a little bit, you know that my hypothesis is that this formation here, when we bottomed in 2018 when we bottomed, we've been forming an Elliott wave structure. An Elliott wave structure, very high level. There are 3 impulse waves up and 2 corrections to the downside, an ABC correction, right? Big impulse wave up, big correction down, large wave up, big correction down, and one final move up, right? So what I've done here, and this is very reasonable, this is our wave 1 movement, this is our wave 3 movement, still waiting for wave 5 over here. If we look at the time frame when we've bottomed in both wave 1 and 3, and then we've measured all the way up to the top for both, it was 196 days and 399 days for wave 1 and wave 3 respectively. So what I've done is I've just taken those 2 time frames and averaged them together, or found the midpoint of that time frame, and it comes out at 301 days. So it's very reasonable to assume that if this hypothesis regarding the Elliott wave structure is correct, and we have bottomed back in November of 2022, that would imply we could see a cycle top, a wave 5 top, in September of this year. And I know that is very hard to believe at the moment. I'm also the one that is on record saying, for all those people out there that believe the 4-year cycle, it's all about the halvings, and you can just look at a chart on 4-year cycles and you know what's going to happen. I am feeling more and more confident, given the discussion surrounding that point, that the halving event this year will be a sell the news event. Okay, we'll have to come back to this video and see if I'm correct, but I would not be surprised one bit if Bitcoin and the rest of the market does the opposite of what everyone's expecting, that, yeah, going into the halving, this is what happens and price is going to start. No, I wouldn't be surprised one bit if we have a run up prior to the halving and then we have a major dump. I would not be surprised by that one bit. Let's take a look. And this view, real quick, this is where having a higher time frame view and looking at a weekly or monthly view and kind of conceptualizing what's going on, being able to read cycles and read charts, This is the type of stuff that leaves you feeling convicted beyond just being here for 5, 6 years, however long I've been here. Also having this foundational knowledge is what gives me conviction that, hey, I have money coming, fiat coming in the door. That shit, much of it is being swapped out for crypto because this I view as a massive buying opportunity. So this is Ethereum. So let's talk about what's going on with Ethereum because there's a couple things I want to hit on here. First off, and the most basic thing that you want to not lose sight of is we have not invalidated the higher highs and higher lows, right? We have a low, a high. We still have this higher low intact. We could technically come all the way down here and still have a higher low and even technically double bottom. But I'll tell you what we want to see from a strength perspective to feel stronger about the moves in Ethereum. You see this downward area of resistance, red circle. We broke, blue circle, back tested, but now we're starting to break below the descending, what was resistance. We're starting to break down below that resistance there. I don't want to see that, okay? And this is a weekly candle. This does not close until Sunday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I really want to see price get closer to 1524. We're sitting at 1437. That's not a large move. That's a move of less than $100 in Ethereum. I don't know. Off the top of my head, I want to say that's a 5% move between now and Sunday. So I'd really like to see a long wick in here, but for the body to be at or above this black descending line, which would put it approximately at 15. We're going to call it 1520, all right? So really by Sunday, what I'd like to see is I'd like to see Ethereum close around 1520 or above. If it doesn't, it's not the end of the world, but I'd like this green zone here between 1400 and 1360 to hold. If we start to break that level, I mean, I think it's pretty reasonable to assume we're going to get close to, if not $1,200, right? And all this means market structure isn't breaking in this case. I want to be very clear about this. Market structure isn't breaking. It's just the strength behind the moves we've seen here isn't as strong as it would otherwise be if we had held 1520 and continued moving up, right? Because price could come up here and come all the way back down. It could come all the way back down here. It could come all the way back down to 900. We could double bottom or still create a higher low and then continue moving up. But what that does for me is it elongates or exacerbates the time, in my opinion, until we can expect to see new all-time highs, right? It doesn't make me concerned that we're going to take out this low here. I'm not concerned. Let me just be clear about this. I'm not concerned that Bitcoin is going to be breaking its low from November. I'm not concerned Ethereum is going to be breaking its low, it looks like, from June, okay? I'm not concerned about that one bit. But I want to see a great degree, I want to see the most strength possible in this chart. And the greatest level of strength that we could see in this chart is closing the week right around 1520. So we'll have to come back to this. I'm trying to think, where will I be at end of week, where logistically? I might be able to do a weekly close, either Sunday or Monday. We can take a look at that. Let's take a look at two other quick charts, and then I'm going to get to your comments. This is the S&P. Nothing super alarming here. I've spoken about this area around 3,900. This descending area of what was once resistance. Look at all the resistance. We broke out above it. I said, hey, guys, it wouldn't surprise me to come all the way down here and back test descending resistance and then continue moving up. Now, again, to reiterate, I don't like to see a thick red body candle like this on the weekly, right? I want to see a wick here. I would love for tomorrow to be a green day on the S&P. Even if we can ride up from 1318 up to the 21 EMA, which is at around 3978. If we can get up to, we don't have to get to 4,000, but if we can get up towards like 3980, that'd be great. You know, anytime you can get a wick on a weekly, it expresses seller exhaustion. Okay, so you want to see a wick here. The only point in which I will start to get concerned on the S&P, which is important to keep in mind because we need strength in the stock market to have strength in the crypto market. Okay, they go hand in hand, despite what you might hear. All right, crypto is a risk-on asset. People are not going to throw their money in crypto if the stock market's going down the tubes. Okay, so the only point I would start to become concerned is if we continue to drift lower and we start to interact with this 200 simple moving average on the weekly with the S&P. You can see we've already interacted with it once. And if we come down to the 200 SMA again, there's a higher likelihood we'll break and go lower. Okay, I don't want to see that. Do I believe that's going to happen? No, I don't believe that's going to happen. It's certainly a possibility. So we have to keep an eye on it, but I don't think that's going to happen. So let's just continue to keep an eye on the S&P, and I will keep you updated. Last chart before I get to your questions. We had a little bit of a sell-off on the dollar, which is inversely related with the stock market and crypto. So we would expect if there's a sell-off in the dollar, eventually you will see that materialize within the stock market and crypto for an upside day. That could actually happen tomorrow. We'll have to see. But again, I've spoken to this 105, 106 level. I said once we got down here, it would not surprise me to bounce all the way up to 105, 106. There's a lot of price confluence. I suspect we'll get rejected. That's what's going on right now. So nothing unsurprising with the dollar. Could we start to break the 50 SMA on the dollar here? See the purple line? Could we break it and start to go up towards 108? Yeah, sure, it's a possibility. But do I think that's going to happen? No, I don't think that's going to happen. I think we will get rejected around this area and continue lower. So we'll have to keep an eye on that. Let's get to your questions, and then I'm going to jump into some altcoin charts, okay? Some of which I've spoken to in the past, and I want to update you on, and some of which I may not have spoken to or you have not heard me speak to in a long time. Let's see what questions we got here. Digibyte. Yes, my friend, we can definitely get to an updated Digibyte chart. Thank you, and I appreciate bringing you guys logical content. I hope you certainly appreciate it. I am the voice of reason. No, we are all doomed. We are all doomed if I'm the voice of reason, let me tell you right now. No, I appreciate that. I appreciate that. Make sure, everybody, to hit the thumbs up. Drop me a comment in terms of, let me know if you agree or disagree with my train of thought. If there's something I'm speaking to and it's not making sense, or you disagree with it, I love healthy debate. Now, if you're going to disagree with me, don't just say, I tweeted this out earlier too, don't come at me with an emotional response without some sort of educated view to back it up, because that's meaningless. But I love healthy debate. If you have an alternative view and you have a chart or something to back that up that you can share, I would welcome that as well as any altcoin charts. So let's get into several charts that I have here. This is Alchemy Pay. Now, I had just put out a video when we were up here. We were up above 4 cents, closing in on 5 cents. I kept saying things were overheated. Things are overheated. More than likely, even if there's a possibility we could go higher up to 7 cents. But I said most likely Alchemy Pay is going to go through not a massive, that's the wrong word. It's going to go through a large correction here. It's par for the course in crypto. I remember saying in that video, if you don't think this thing can correct 50 to 60%, you haven't been here long. Let's see how much we have corrected so far. Okay. And I still think we're going to go lower, but let's see how much we have corrected so far. So far, we have had a 51% correction. Okay. And I still think we'll at least get down to this area at 2.2 cents, and we'll have a 57% correction. As I said before, this magnet wants to pull price in here. Now, at the moment, I will say this on Alchemy Pay. This is a 6-hour time frame, okay? This looks to be a falling wedge at the moment, okay? And these things, if it pans out, it gets tight in here, and then it breaks to the upside. If the falling wedge does continue to play out, let's see, let me draw this even more. Let me see, I'll draw it like that, okay? So if this does pan out, you could see price potentially drift all the way down here before we start to break out, okay? Now, in this pattern, you might say, well, how are we going to hit your golden zone in here? Because this dark golden zone is what I'm looking for. Anything between 1.8 and 2.2 cents is a massive buy zone where I'm looking to accumulate a lot of Alchemy Pay personally. Never financial advice, just what I'm looking to do. What you could see as a price wick, but then getting back up into this area, right? Either way, I personally think it's a matter of time until we at least touch 2.2 cents. I think there's an area of price confluence there. We also had this 200 SMA on the 6-hour. This is a weekly view. I drew this alternatively just to kind of fresh chart. Wanted to take a look at price confluence here. And you can see, once again, 2.2 cents came up, right? And then we have, it looks like I drew This is essentially we're going to call it 1.7 cents. Okay, I didn't round this out yet, but 1.67 cents. So further validating, roughly 1.8 cents. Okay, 1.8, 1.7, we're splitting hairs. Something that I want to share with you guys real quick, when you're using these charts and you're doing your own charting, you're following somebody else's charting, and you're looking to buy based on these areas of price confluence, I want to give you a tip, a very important tip, okay? If you know what a buy limit order is, hopefully you do, okay? You set up an area, basically you put in an order and say, I want to buy 100,000 ACH at 2 cents, right? What happens is that buy order is triggered for 100,000 units once the price hits 2 cents. If it never hits 2 cents, the buy order is not executed, okay? The very important thing that you want to keep in mind when you're setting buy limit orders, you want to front run the psychological levels. Okay, so for me, I am looking at 2.2 cents. I want to buy Alchemy Pay. My first buy order is at 2.2 cents. Am I going to set a buy limit order at 2.2 cents? Hell no. I will set a buy limit order at 2.23 cents, right? Because if price comes down to 2.21 cents, your buy order isn't going to get executed, right? It's the same premise if you're looking to sell at $7. I think a theoretical level I could sell my crypto is at $7. So you put in a sell limit order to sell 10 units at $7. That's not a smart idea because $7 is a psychological level. Put the sell limit order a few pennies below it based on your risk tolerance, okay? So you might put the sell order at $6.94, $6.97, right? Because oftentimes when you look at charts, you'll see other smart technicians in the space are doing the same things. There's also a lot of algo trading in there, but you'll see prices hit $6.99. So even if you have a bazillion shares of something set to sell at $7, that sell order will never execute. You won't sell a single share of what you own or a single token of what you own because it hasn't hit $7. So keep in mind those psychological levels. But this weekly view on Alchemy Pay, this really gives you a level of appreciation. Ooh, got a piece of ice there. This gives you a level of appreciation for, I like this right here. On the consolidated price action, where areas of resistance and support are at, okay? Really gives you a level of appreciation. So again, that's what I'm looking for Alchemy Pay. And again, I think this magnet will be found to be true anywhere in this yellow region. Do I think we'll go as low as 1.47 cents that I have drawn down here? Ultimately, no. I do not think we'll go as low as there, but this is a volatile market. It would not surprise me one bit to come down into this region and see a wick, at least close to here, at least close, and then back up. So if you want to put in what's known as some fishing orders, some orders at some low levels, go towards the 1.4 to 1.5 cent area. If you can grab some at those prices, I think that's a steal. Never financial advice, just my honest view. Get these off so they're easier to read. You're seeing some charts I'm going to go over here. Okay, the next chart that I have on the list, actually I had somebody ask me about this today. This is Artificial Liquid Intelligence, ticker symbol ALI. I had just done a video on this. I'm doing a series on my channel, Crypto AI Set to Rise. The first token on there that I did was Artificial Liquid Intelligence. I will tell you, the second video I'm looking to do is on Track, ticker symbol TRAC. But I haven't gotten to it yet. But you can see here, we're starting to break down below key areas of support. We're going to turn those into resistance. This is another one, full disclosure, I'm looking to scale into more of. I think based on, this is a 12-hour view on Ali. I think based on how price is breaking down here with the rest of the market, I don't think we're going to bounce at this 4 cent level. There's not a lot of price confluence. I will tell you where there's a lot of price confluence on Ali now we've gotten this low. Look at this green line right here. See all this price confluence here? I think we could get as low as around 3.2 cents. There's another level of price confluence beyond all these candle bodies and wicks. It's the 200 simple moving average on the 12-hour chart. So for me, I'm looking to personally accumulate more artificial liquid intelligence, and the price level that I'm waiting for, I'm going to be patient on this one, okay? It's market cap, I don't know, it's in the low 200s. I want to say around 215 last time I checked, 210. Let's take a quick look. Where's AL at? Maybe 220? 228, okay? So it's a smaller market cap, high volatility. I'm waiting for this area right here. This is the area I'm personally waiting for. I'm not buying up in this area or even here now that we've dropped, okay? I'm waiting for 3.2 cents, and I would be happy to buy quite a few tokens at that level. The Graft is another one. I don't know if I've spoken to this one in a long time, but I am actually looking to take a position in the Graft, actually in my retirement account. I have a Bitcoin IRA account, and I'm looking to get into some Graft here. So where would I want to personally get into a position here based on what the chart looks like? There is, you can see we broke this area of resistance. We broke this area of resistance. There's still this gray line. See the gray line we haven't gotten above yet? We could actually move this. Can we get that to there? Now we're going through candle bodies. You can't draw lines through candle bodies. That's not appropriate. But in any event, if you're looking to scale into the Graft, I'll keep this very simple. There's a zone. It's right around, where's this at? 9 cents, okay? So it looks like 9.1 cents. So what I would tell you, you could even move this up to maybe there, and it's 9.3 or 4 cents. So what I would tell you is, if I was looking to buy the Graph, or I was looking to accumulate more, I would be waiting more towards the 9.1 to 9.4 cent area. It looks like we are at 11.4 cents right now. This thing could still come down another 15 to 20%, okay? Could we come down to here at a psychological level of 10 cents, bounce, and never see 9 cents? Yeah, so it all depends on your risk tolerance level. But when I look at this, I say, you know what? I think it's quite likely we're going to get as low in that 9 cent area, 9.1, 9.4 cents. So that's what I'm waiting for on the Graph. I'm going to be patient on that one too. Again, the market, this is my view on the market right now. This drop that we're seeing in Bitcoin, it is providing you the opportunity, in my opinion, never financial advice. It's providing you the opportunity to reaccumulate more. If you have the same view as myself, my view on the market, again, is that we are just starting the beginning stages of our impulse move to the upside. What fewest expect, okay? So as we see dips, this is, when prices are running up like this, that is not the time to be buying, okay? It's not the time to be buying, right? When you feel that nothing fundamentally has changed in the charts, but we're seeing a healthy pullback and a correction, nothing's breaking down, we're just seeing, this happens. When you cannot have prices go straight from $20,000 to $200,000. It does not work that way. If you go back on any chart, you're going to see higher highs and higher lows going up, right? Those higher lows, when we get those dips down and we get a higher low in this region here, that is the time to be accumulating. It's not the time to say, oh my God, it's time to buy Bitcoin as we start to sail past 32,000, right? When you emotionally buy like that, and then we correct from 32 and we come all the way back down to 25, you're like, that was the worst time to buy. I did not know what I was doing. This whole thing is a Ponzi scheme. I'm selling, right? I'm selling at 25, and then we start the ride up towards 48 and you buy at 48, right? That's the sign of an emotional non-investor. That's the sign of an emotional gambler, okay? You really need to know what you're doing in this market, or you're going to lose your shirt off your back, all right? So, in my opinion, this is the opportune time to be reaccumulating, and I couldn't be more thankful for the timing of March 2023 bonuses, really. This is Sushi. Haven't talked about this one in a while. 2 more charts, and then I'm going to get to your questions. Sushi swap here. I'm really going to be keeping an eye on this one. This is one that has corrected heavily with the rest of the market. We're sitting just over a dollar. The high was at just over $23. But I want you to keep in mind what's going on, right? As dismal as this is, and as low as we've gotten, right? We went lower than I thought we would because we got this expanded flat correction that I was not expecting, okay? We have now, what have we been doing, right? This is sort of like, lower highs, lower lows. But what is going on in the immediate term right here? What has been going on since essentially May of 2022? I almost said May of 2012. What has been going on with Sushi Swap since May of 2012? Well, Sushi Swap wasn't even a thing then, you know? Nobody even knew what the hell Sushi Swap was. No, but what's been going on since May of 2022? Well, price has been going like this. It's just chippy choppy, right? And I tweeted this out today, chippy choppy. Yet the RSI is increasing. So what does this mean in layman's terms? Like, what's actually going on, right? Well, what's happening is the price is going sideways, but momentum, strength is building in the chart. All we need, okay? I've seen enough charts like this. Believe me, I've seen enough charts like this. All we need is a turn in the market. Bitcoin is the driver of value. All we need is Bitcoin to break that 25 to 26 level and start heading towards 28 to 32. This thing, mark my words and come back to this video, okay? This thing will break out of the descending resistance quick and start entertaining levels towards $7 to $4.80, okay? That can happen in a matter of 1 to 2 weeks. That is how fast this market moves. Part of the reason that you get such large emotion within this market and people are getting so just ridiculous with some of the comments is this action goes on for a long period of time. This bullshit price action weeds people out. It does this for a long time. Then it just shoots up. Look what happened with Alchemy Finance. I said, be patient with this. How many times did I come on here and say, be patient with this chart? Look at this price action after we hit our all-time high. Oh, Jesus, look at this shit, you know? And I said, bullish divergence, building since May of 2022. Another one since May of 2022. Bullish divergence. This thing was sitting under a penny. You could have picked up Alchemy Finance for 3/4 of a cent and rode it all the way up to 5 cents. We did more than a 5x in a month and a half. In a month and a half, you could have turned $10,000 into $50,000. Okay? Just putting this into perspective, right? But it all comes down to knowing what you're putting your money in, why you're doing it, what's your educational foundation for why you're doing that, and remaining convicted. Unless if something fundamentally changes from your educated view, your hypothesis, you should not change your investment philosophy. Nothing should change, okay? Let's get into a couple charts and I'll take your questions. LCX. This is one that, I'm thankful for my audience. This is one that you guys pointed out to me, okay? And this is one I'm taking a look at. I don't have anything currently invested, but I'm certainly taking a look at it. You can see here, why did I have it drawn this way? Actually, I'm looking at this, wondering, why do I have it drawn this way? I think I had downward resistance. Really, I prefer downward resistance to be drawn more like that. Okay. So you can see we're in this downward channel, right? Downward channel. Now we've broken out, right? We've gone from 3 cents all the way up to 60. Another one that pulled more than a 5x, okay? Another one that pulled more than a 5x. So what's going on right now? It's called healthy consolidation, okay? Right now, this bottom line is very early, okay? I'm not saying we're going to form a falling wedge, but as price action develops, we can reformulate what I have here. This is starting very early. But you can see we have, more importantly, okay, descending resistance, right? So we're going to need to break above that. But I have several key areas. This is going to turn into resistance. I might as well just change this now. This is a 3-day chart I have right here. This could be another falling wedge. We could be forming another falling wedge here. We'll just have to be patient with the price action and the price data. But I have several areas of support I want you guys to keep in mind if you're looking to scale into LCX. I have all the way down here at 5.5 cents. And then I have 6.5, 7, 7.5. And we just broke 9. Okay. So really, I have a large zone of resistance. This is my large zone of resistance. Or excuse me, not resistance. This is my large zone of support between, okay, 5.5 and 7.5 cents. And right now we are sitting at 8.5 cents. Boy, it loves half cents. We're sitting at 8.5 cents. And I have support drawn between 5.5 and 7.5. That's what I would look for on LCX. Last chart I want to cover, and this is what I'm looking to accumulate more of. I love this chart. This is a daily view on Synapse. Ticker symbol SYN. You can find this on Coinbase. I don't think they've listed this one on Binance US yet. No, they haven't, because actually I was on the app today, and one of the things I really appreciate about Binance US's app is I searched for Synapse today because I was wondering because I was debating if I wanted to buy some on Binance US or Coinbase, and I went on Binance US, and when you look up the token and it's not available, you can click a button and say I'd like this to become available, and they get when you do that and you click on it, they're getting an inventory of that. They're tracking that. So that's a little tidbit of information for you and you guys who are in the United States. Synapse is one where, again, we rode this thing all the way from 46 cents up to $1.80. Okay, so it did basically a 4x very quickly. All right, with volume too. So what area am I eyeing? Well, this is on the daily. This is about to break. This is going to become resistance at about 90 cents, okay? I'm eyeing, keep in mind, resistance, resistance, resistance. We broke. Would not surprise me to come back down to prior descending resistance, back tested as support, and move up. If that were to occur, it's a massive buying opportunity, in my opinion. We also have price confluence between 75 to 70 cents. If Synapse reaches between 75 to 70 cents, I personally will have my buy limit orders set. I will be buying some. This is a very healthy buying zone opportunity, in my opinion. 75 to 70 cents on Synapse. All right. So, I had a Digibyte question. So let's get to Digibyte, and I'll see what other questions you guys have. Let's see here. This isn't a happy hour, but I sort of turned it into it, having a mango margarita. Anybody having any adult beverages today? Is this a chart I want to look at? We can look at this. I have quite a few Digibyte charts. I made so many different for the video and Digibyte copy. Let's look at this one. One of the beautiful things with Digibyte is that, I don't want to look at this one. One of the beautiful things with Digibyte is that it has a lot of market structure. It's been around for a long time. It's one of the reasons I really love this project, is because it has withstood the test of time. I'm trying to find the best chart. You know what I would do for Digibyte? Honestly. Well, now, I don't think you want me to just zoom out and give you a macro on the monthly, because if we zoom out and look at the macro on the monthly, there's literally nothing to worry about. But let's look at the weekly. Now, what I would say on the weekly is we were starting to see the RSI cross here positive. You see how the RSI, the purple line, is crossing above this orange EMA? It was very healthy to see. And we also have the MACD getting closer and closer to a positive cross above zero. Typically, when we've seen that in the past, along with price action above the 21 EMA, we've seen a massive rise in price appreciation. So I'm going to tell you the first thing we need to do for Digibyte. We had price action, as you can see here. We had it above. You see how it's above the 200 SMA? The 21 EMA. Okay, the blue line is the 21 EMA. See this EMA right here? Price action was above it for a long time. Now we're starting to go below it. I don't want to stay down below the 21 EMA for long. I don't want a false signal here. So what I'd like to see from Digibyte, again, nothing over alarming. The entire market is going through a correction right now, but ultimately I want to see around 0.9 cents hold. I don't want to start to come down towards 0.8 cents. okay? I don't want to close, I should say, the weekly candle down here. Let's hold 0.9 cents on the weekly. And more importantly, let's see if we can close the week above the 21 EMA, which is at 0.994 cents. So let's see if we can close the week roughly at a penny, right? Right now, we're at 0.913 cents. I don't think it's a large ask. We might close just below it. We'll have to see how tomorrow goes. The weekends tend to be sort of, Saturday and Sunday, not a lot of price action. Tomorrow's a bigger day. You want to see for some sort of small recovery in price. Oh, come on, TradingView. God damn it. I don't know if the internet connection or TradingView. There we go. Yeah. Not a healthy red candle there. So let's look for some sort of recovery. Let's focus on a higher time frame on the weekly. Don't look at a daily or even a 3-day chart. Look at the weekly. I really want Sunday at 7 o'clock to get as close to 0.994 cents as possible. That's what I would look for on DigiByte. Besides that, nothing too crazy going on. Again, something to keep in mind with all these altcoin charts, Bitcoin is going to tell you the relative health of the market. So goes, I always say this, so goes Bitcoin, so goes the rest of the market, right? I love me some Bitcoin, but I also love me some altcoins. And I want to see my altcoins do well, but in order for those altcoins to do well, and those altcoins are ultimately what will lead me to the promised land. So I want to see those do well. But you want to see Bitcoin do well, because if Bitcoin's doing well, the rest, it's going to be a pulse for the health of the relative market within crypto. If it's not doing well, the rest of the market won't be doing well. Okay, so I have a Harmonaut here. Someone would like me to take a look at Harmony One. I was looking at that earlier today, actually. Was I on a 4-hour chart? Oh, I know why I was on a 4-hour chart. So let me point this out on Harmony One. I had tweeted something out. Well, actually, let's get off that for a second. Let's go to a higher time frame. Let's just go to like a 3-day. Okay. Now you can see what's going on is let's go to a daily. Sorry, I'm bouncing around here. I'm trying to decide what I want to do. We got a golden cross, right? 50 simple moving average above the purple. The 50 purple, the 50 SMA, which is the purple line, going above the pink line, which is the 200 SMA. We have a golden cross, right? What I don't like to see, and I think the same thing is happening with HBAR and a lot of other crypto projects. Now we're starting to dip below the 200 SMA. Again, on volatile projects like Harmony One, okay, it's not surprising to see this happen. But what you don't want to do is start to hang out in this area too long, because what's it going to do? It's going to cause the 50 SMA, which is the average of more recent 50 candlesticks, dip down, and you're running the risk of getting a death cross. Well, I don't want to see that. So I'm okay that we've dipped this low. I don't want to go much lower than where we're at right now, or stay down here for long. I don't want to see a death cross. The fact that we've had a golden cross on the daily, it's very good to see. We want that bullish momentum to sustain itself and continue moving forward so that we can see more golden crosses. I have a funny joke going through my head. There's more inappropriate. There's more golden crosses happening on the higher time frames, because that's going to bleed over into the higher time frame charts, right? We're back in this green zone, this green massive buy zone, right? So I view this as with the rest of the market, a big buying opportunity. I really need to get back above this 200 SMA at 1.8 cents. When the market does pick back up, mark my words, when the market does pick back up and Bitcoin starts to resume going higher, Harmony One is one of those projects you're going to see it up 8, 9, 10, 12% in a day. It's just I've seen it too many times before. But what I wanted to point out on the 4-hour, one of the ways, and I had tweeted this out, one of the ways you can try to find a leading indicator in terms of being able to discern if there might be a trend reversal when you're in the middle of a downtrend like this, right? When can we expect prices to turn around? Well, if you go to a lower time frame and you see bullish divergence, in this case on the RSI, right? So in this case, what's happening is the RSI on the 4-hour chart, okay, it's going, as price is going down, the RSI is churning up. So there's actually strength building on the lower time frames, even though price is going down. This has a tendency on lower time frames. It's less. The other thing you have to keep in mind is on lower time frames, there are lower probabilities associated with this actually working in the most probabilistic direction, meaning we see this, but we can't put as high a value on this as we would on like a weekly time frame, right? So you have to take this with a little bit of a grain of salt, but it is nice to see that we're seeing bullish divergence on the 4-hour. Could play towards prices bouncing bouncing at some point here in the shorter term. The other thing, I was just trying to think of what my next point was. The other thing you can do is you can start to go to some of the higher time frames. Are you seeing it on the 6-hour, the 12-hour? You're not. Because another point I wanted to make here is when you're looking for bullish divergence on a chart, the higher the time frame, this is what I was trying to get to, the higher the time frame that you see the bullish divergence, the more credible that view is. So it's nice to see it on a 4-hour, but it'd be a hell of a lot nicer to see it on a 12-hour or daily, right? So we'll have to just keep an eye. I really want to see prices, though. This is on a 12-hour. I really want to see prices get above this 200 simple moving average on the daily, which is at 1.8 cents. Whew. Brianna, welcome in. It's so funny that you're asking a question on Ren. I shit you not that I was just looking at this. And you'll see I actually have it charted here. Yeah, I was just looking at this. Thank you for bringing that up. So this is another one that has bullish divergence. MACD's looking real healthy. We're close to a positive cross on the weekly. Stochastic RSI is looking healthy. The thing I love about this one is, I think I had this on Heikin Ashi. That's why it's not looking right. The thing I really enjoy about this one is we had this massive falling wedge, right? Now we've broken out. And people start to, when that happens, there's a little bit of excitement, right? But now prices are starting to fade off, right? This is the opportunity to buy, okay? Because it wouldn't surprise me one bit for Ren to maybe come down all the way as low as 7 or even 6 cents, okay? And then continue back up, all right? Now that we've fallen out of this falling wedge, and we're getting a correction, this is the time, in my opinion, to be reaccumulating or accumulating. But what we want to watch for is there's an area here between roughly, we're just going to call it 13 and 16 cents, okay? Keeping it nice and even. 13 to 16 cents. Keep this in mind. I should draw another area of resistance here. This is in the Heikin Ashi. It's another area right around there. We're going to call it 25 cents. Now, what I want you to keep in mind is when we break 13 to 16 cents, we break this 13 to 16 cents, to me, it's clear sailing to 25 cents, okay? Once we break 25 cents, not a whole lot of price confluence up towards 42 cents and then 60 cents. And then once you start getting up to 60 cents, I mean, now you're talking about getting up close to all-time highs. There's an area maybe right there, $1.20. So now once you break 60 cents, and again, this speaks to how fast this market can move, okay? I understand how this feels. Been here too long to know. But when we start to move and you get up to 60 cents on Ren, we could shoot up to $1.20 very quickly and things could double. So for Ren, what I would be doing is if I was looking to get into Ren, which I actually have considered, I appreciate the question because I was just looking at this. Look for this 13 to 16 cents. You really want to clear that. Once you clear 13 to 16 cents, I would expect 25 cents will happen very quickly. So thank you for the question on Ren. Any other questions? If not, meeting adjourned. I'm going to call it a day if nobody else has any questions. Hang in there. Don't get emotional. Been here too long. You can go back. You can go back on my profile and you can search tweets from the beer virus crash. I was thanking the crypto gods for being able to buy Chainlink at $1.50. Okay? I'm trying to think of memorable buys. Chainlink at $1.50 is definitely one of them. Bitcoin at $5,000. Don't get shaken out. Have an educated view. Another thing I would encourage you, which I've encouraged multiple times on this channel, is don't tune in and listen to me and watch what I'm doing. Or don't tune in to someone else, listen and watch what they're doing, and solely base your financial decisions on my word or someone else's word. I would hope you would not do that. What you should do, as I always say, is use myself as a validation point. Use me as a data point, right? So I do the same thing. I have other technicians who I value, and sometimes their opinions are similar or different from mine. They're either similar or different. They can be the same or different, right? But the point is I respect certain technicians in the space, and I like to hear their thought process. It challenges my views, right? So use this content to better suit yourself for your own financial decisions, and I hope you find it helpful. So with that being said, meeting adjourned. If you haven't, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, drop me a comment. It helps support the channel. Subscribe to the channel. Click the bell icon for notifications. And until next time, spread awareness,